Hello world, it's Lee Kelson coming to you live from Start Me Up Hong Kong Festival 2019. I'll get it right eventually, I've only said it 60 times today. And I'm here with William Bean of SOSV Venture Capital. And you've just come off stage, you've been talking, speaking. So William, what were you talking about on stage?
So I was assigned the wonderful role of talking about how VC should change. So the funny thing about VC, the startups change, technologies change, but VC has stayed the same for almost 70 years now. The model hasn't changed. We're trying to mix things up a little bit, and so we have a different approach. And I was just introducing how our approach, we think, could help early stage entrepreneurs get to where they need to go.
Yeah. So when you talk about the traditional VC model, in sort of 30 seconds, what is the traditional VC model?
Okay, so most VCs, they focus on one geography. So maybe you've heard, people in Silicon Valley, they don't want to invest in any company that's farther than 2 hours away or something like that.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's like, okay, you're a China VC or you're a US VC or a European VC. And so VC has been geographically focused. And that's mostly because the investors that give them the money want exposure by geography. The thing that's changed with technology is that companies are no longer US companies or China companies, they're global companies, even in the early stages. It's a lot easier and cheaper to start up, it's a lot faster to start up. So VC has not kept up with the global nature of startups today.
And so what's your model? What makes it unique?
Global. So we're global. We can do that because SOSV is a Sean O'Sullivan, SOS. We are the largest investor in our own fund, and because we're the biggest LP limited partner, we're the biggest investor in our own fund, we can change things up. We can do things differently. So we invest globally. The second area is that most VCs, they invest in one area. They invest in hardware, they invest in biotech, or they invest in software. We invest hardware, biotech, and software all under one roof. We think that there's synergies there, but we're very different than pretty much any other VC you'll see, which they're forced to pick one. We invest in all of them, all within one fund, SOSV.
Right. And so it's an interesting thing, VC. I mean, how do you pick the right horse? Or I know a lot of the approach with a lot of VCs is, the old proverbial throw enough at the wall and some will stick, right? So what's the approach with you guys?
So Q2 2018, basically last year, PitchBook named us the #1 most active early stage investor in the world. The 2018 Crunchbase data came out. We're the #5 most active angel and seed stage investor in the world. So we do throw a lot of corn. We invest in 150 companies a year. But the difference is then we help. We have 6 accelerator programs. They're all on site where the entrepreneurs spend 6 months working with us side by side, and we help through our accelerator programs to get those entrepreneurs where they need to go, or give them the security, the framework, the support in the ecosystem to help them where they need to go. So it's not just about advice, but technology tools, promotion partnerships, actual deals. So we're running innovation for over 20 multinationals. We're engaged with 183 multinational corporations, and one of the things that we do is we help startups build bridges and sell into these multinationals. So think about it not just as VC just bringing money, but this is also VC bringing service, and we do that at the early stage at scale.
Right.
So we look at ourselves less of a fund, but more like an ecosystem.
Right. Okay. And because it's not all about money, right?
Well, money. Everybody's got money. China last year is the first time where China VC invested more money in startups than American VCs. So China is now bigger than the U.S. So I live in Shanghai. There's unlimited money. What matters is actually customers, technology, and those relationships, and then getting users. Yeah. And that's what we try and bring.
Yeah. And so China Accelerator. What's China Accelerator all about?
So the problem if you're going to enter the China market is the local players have local market understanding. They have the capital, I just mentioned that. Yep. They have the relationships. So if you're an international company and you want to enter China, you've got 3 strikes already against you, you're out. In fact, there is not one major like internet and software company that's really been successful in China. But that doesn't mean that people should stay away from the number 2 economy in the world, and it's soon to be the number 1 economy in the world. You can't just leave that market. So what we do is we invest in companies from around the world, and we help them enter the China market. We help them localize. We help them change their product for the local consumer or the local business. We help them change the way they charge for that, and we do this through a mentorship-driven program. There's no classroom. There's no classes. What it is all about is working in our office side by side and basically getting a new product market fit. So we take companies that already have revenue somewhere else, but we create a startup within a startup in China, side by side with them. And a lot of people say that you should partner then go to China. Our approach is you go to China, you understand the market, you launch your product, and then once you've got things set up, then you partner.
Right, okay. And so types of companies that you invest in, and what's the best way to get in contact with you?
William Baobin, I'm on LinkedIn. I usually just say yes. And you can find me there, and all my information's there. So we invest in sectors where an international company could have some sort of advantage in China. Because if you've got 3 strikes against you already, you need to have something special, some sort of unfair advantage. Right. And so there's sectors where a foreign company might have an advantage versus a local player. And this is sort of education. So Chinese consumers love international education. They spend 20-30% of their income on education. They like sending their kids abroad to school. They like English classes, things like that. The second area is international products, whether it be food for food safety or luxury. China's 40% of the world's luxury spend. Third area is fintech, financial. Chinese consumers don't have a lot of places where they can put their money. So they're looking to invest. And Chinese can take money out of China. Fourth area is, excuse me. Yeah, I've been here all day too. Fourth area is commerce, social commerce. So in the West you have e-commerce, but in China people sell through social, they sell through media, they sell through celebrity. So there are many international celebrities that do have a play inside of China. And then the last area is health. Chinese people love to be healthy. They're not particularly healthy, but they trust international health and solutions and medicine and treatments more than they trust the local. Right, okay. So these are the areas we're focused on.
Okay, fantastic. William, thanks very much for your time.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
All the best.
Yeah,
cheers, mate.
Yeah.